Welcome back, everybody. It's time to do the full review of Goldeneye, which is Goldeneye on Far Cry 5. Yeah, I know he had to call it Goldeneye because it just sounds weird saying that out loud, but MGM Studios, you guys suck ass, and it's your fault. In case you didn't know, and you didn't see the first video, I'm just going to get this out of the way quick. 2008, Rare Studios was remaking Goldeneye, and they were going to put it on Rare Replay. And it was almost done. 2 months left in development, and MGM and Microsoft, who acquired Rare, they couldn't come to terms on licensing. And my guess is that MGM wanted a ridiculous amount of money just because of how successful Goldeneye was like the first time around. So it got cancelled, and that's why Rare Replay did not have Goldeneye, which a lot of people were pissed off about. So I'm gonna read this off my phone because I can't fucking remember it. As of January 2021, you can download this now and play it on your PC if you want to. It looks great. It's more of a Goldeneye game, obviously, than what we've played here and what I'm going to review, just for the fact that it was actually made by Rare. And it does use the movie actors like the original game did, and the textures look identical to the old Goldeneye. They're just updated, stuff like that, where in this case it's a lot more improvisation. This is all what I'm about to read is all sourced from Wikipedia, so I'm 99% sure it's true. In 2010, an independent development team released Goldeneye Source, which was a multiplayer-only, total conversion mod that runs on the Source engine. Goldeneye had initially been intended for inclusion in the 2015 compilation Rare Replay. A fan remake, powered by the Unreal Engine 4, which was called Goldeneye 25, was in development and originally scheduled for a 2022 release in honor of the game's 25th anniversary, but became an original property after MGM sent a cease and desist letter to the developers. Gee, thanks a lot. So that brings us to now. Far Cry 5 is out. There's a good old fella called Perfect Dark 1982, which I believe is, I don't know how to say his name, to be honest with you. Like, Grazlu 00, I don't know. Anyway, he makes a lot of YouTube videos. He's basically strictly Goldeneye. He does do Perfect Dark as well. I'm pretty sure this is the guy that did this. So shout out to you. Anyway, he made these maps. Took him, I think I read 1,400 hours to make all this, which I'm not surprised by at all because of the amount of detail in this, but good on you, because goddamn, I would never have the patience to do that, or the dedication. Anyway, he first releases these maps. Everything's awesome. I mean, news articles are written about, like, this particular inclusion in the arcade part of Far Cry 5. It's that, it's that big of a deal. People like Goldeneye that much. I'm assuming this is what happened the first go-around with these maps being uploaded. MGM went to Ubisoft, and they're like, we own all this, so take it the f*** down. They had to, because they apparently had the copyright to it, which I really don't get. I think that's a really petty thing to do, first of all, because, like, the game's gonna be 25 years old next year. Really? You're gonna, like, why? What do you have to gain by this? Nobody's making any money on this. This guy took 1,400 hours of his life making this, not that they care. Nobody's gaining anything from this aside from the people that actually want to play it. And we're not paying, like, I mean, in my case, I didn't even pay for this game knowing this was on here. I would, but that's none of MGM's business. Anyway, he's re-uploaded them, obviously, because we just played them. And that's why a lot of the time, like, you'll see the names change. I kind of laughed when it said, like, Save Natasha. Like, they had to change the names of people in the game. And obviously there's no movie likenesses in it because it's just in-game characters. So that's, I guess, how he got around this. I was kind of surprised the levels were called the same thing that they were called, like, originally called. He didn't have to change that, but that's why it's called Golden Cry. I think it was actually called Goldeneye to begin with. With that out of the way, let's get into the review. That was a little history lesson. I'm going to start out with the cons, because there's not that many of them. And a lot of these aren't, like, it's hard to separate the review of these from Far Cry 5. Because a lot of my problems that I had really had nothing to do with anything that he made. It was, like, just the mechanics of the game, or just, like, Far Cry 5's problem, not anything he did. Level design is just out of this world perfect. But, like, for instance, you saw in the first video that I made, like when you're down in the tunnel at the dam, like a lot of the time those guys aren't loading right away until it's super inconvenient and they're behind you and you just get friggin' blasted from behind. That sucks. But that's, again, probably down to the fact that these are user-made maps, so you're going to have buggy stuff like that happen. On the topic of AI, I find a lot of the time they get confused, especially the friendlies, with this Natasha. Bunker 2, for example, when you leave the jail cell, which we'll get to, when you leave the jail cell and you walk out the doors and there's the other set of doors straight ahead of you that you have to open from the room to the left of that, if this makes any sense. The AI just, like, continuously runs into the door thinking it can go through, and it doesn't stop. Like, the path of the AI doesn't exactly match what's supposed to happen. On a level like Jungle, like, she wasn't even following me. Not that it matters, because, yes, there's objectives in the game, which is cool, but apparently none of them have anything to do with Natasha, because, like, I just straight up killed her a couple times, and nothing happened. Also, she gets really mad when you just, like, hold down the left trigger and, like, kind of cock your fists up at her. She doesn't like that.
Whoa! What's that supposed to be? What are you fucking doing, mister?
Another weird thing about the AI, and I guess this is, again, kind of like the dam incident, like Facility, when you first drop out of the vent and you kill the two people in the bathroom, if you're not crouched down up there, like, the whole way, which, I mean, you should be, and hypothetically, because you're stealthing around in there, and this isn't the only instance where this happens, but this is just the first one that comes to mind. Like, the AI and that whole first area can hear you if you just, like, walk 2 or 3 steps up in the bathroom, which is kind of stupid in a way, but, you know, it's not, like, the original Goldeneye, it didn't really have that element of the AI can hear you. You can walk around all over the place. It's all, like, it's line of sight, which, of course, the N64, they were pushing the limits anyway. But in this case, it's kind of annoying sometimes when that happens, if you're trying to be stealthy and you might go for like a stealth takedown, and then you're standing up by accident and you move a couple steps and now everybody downstairs can hear you. So that was kind of stupid. Again, not Perfect Dark 1982's fault.
Doesn't sound right at all. Someone creeping around out there? Calm down and keep your eyes open.
Another con that I thought was weird was, and this kind of goes with the no explanation sort of thing, with archives, there's no dialogue in game, right? Like there was in Goldeneye on 64. So when you're standing at archives behind the table getting interrogated, there's a gun on the table in front of you, and there's 2 guys interrogating you, and you're supposed to pick the gun up and kill them. Well, when you load into this, and I left the first playthrough I did as like on my video, I had no clue. I mean, I just kind of guessed that they weren't gonna shoot me right away. So you kind of load in, and you have about a second to figure out what the hell is going on before you start getting shot all to pieces. So, you know, trial by fire, I guess. It's not a big deal, but I don't even know if I should say it's a con. It's just kind of an observation, I guess. Not having any music, like GoldenEye 007 music, kind of sucked. Again, not his problem, not his fault. I don't know if you can put music in when you make a stage. I kind of doubt it, but that's sort of why I dubbed in the old school music over the top of the levels that I made videos of, because, you know, just like the original music that's on the levels, it's okay, but if you're playing GoldenEye, you want to friggin' hear GoldenEye. And the last thing, breaking out of the jail cell in Bunker 2, it kind of was a throwback to around the time when you were playing N64, just for the fact that, like, back then, if you didn't have a walkthrough You couldn't really go online most of the time and look this stuff up. Most people couldn't. So unless you had a walkthrough or a game magazine that happened to have the game in it, or your friend knew and told you at school, like, you had to figure this stuff out on your own. And there was times in some games, not particularly Goldeneye, but you'd be stuck for friggin' ever. So that was sort of a throwback for me, because I didn't know how to get out of this jail cell, because in the original one you have the watch magnet and you get the key off the thing ahead of you. In this one, you have throwing knives, and you got to throw them at this, like, the keypad. But at first, I didn't even think it was working, because I didn't know where I actually had to hit it, which is probably on me for not playing Far Cry 5. I'm sure you have to do that somewhere. But you don't have a gun, and, you know, there's no explanation on what to do. So it was actually kind of neat and a bit of a throwback to have to actually figure something out for once in a video game, which we don't do anymore. Because even if there's an Easter egg or something like that, it's all over your phone, and it's pretty easy to find, and there's no surprises anymore. So that was kind of a cool throwback for me. Now we're getting into the pros. First of all, amazing improvisation with the maps, and like, he took some liberties with adding some stuff, obviously, like some cosmetic things, but everything just, like, the levels flow like the old levels did. They feel exactly the way they're supposed to. It's no mistaking where you are, what you're looking at. Everything feels exactly like the old game. It's kind of crazy how, like, I mean, there was a time, like the odd instance on Frigate, where a hallway might feel a little more narrow than it used to, but that's so minor. I can't imagine how long it took him to get the scale right from what it was in the old game, and it is perfect. It really is. And on the topic of improvising, I didn't even know you could have, like, objectives and stuff. So having that was cool, but, like, for instance, there's no hostages, right, for frigates, so you have 5 targets you got to eliminate. Or the scientists, which kind of got me at first, because I didn't know that there was no, like, friendlies or no hostages or anything, or scientists. So on facility, I rolled up on the first room on the right, and all of a sudden I'm getting my ass handed to me by, like, the scientists. So I didn't even know I was supposed to shoot them. Having levels transition one into the other was a really, really cool thing, and it made it feel more like the movie than the original game did. Like, for instance, when you're on facility and you kind of transition into runway, or you're playing Control and you go in the elevator and you ride the elevator to Cradle. Stuff like that. That was really cool. I didn't expect anything like that. It really made it feel a lot more like the movie than the original game did. Great use of the weapons. A lot of the guns from, like, Goldeneye aren't in this game. Like, there's no golden gun, stuff like that. But you, like, the AK-47, the M16, like the PP7, obviously isn't called that, but the suppressed and unsuppressed, those are all there. I think it's a decent mix of guns, considering what you had to work with, and feels great. It really does. I don't think it's that limited. It might have been cool to have maybe 2 or 3 more guns from Goldeneye, but really, like, the exploration of the levels, you sort of forget about that in a sense, and there's plenty to work with as far as weapons go, so it doesn't, like, there's attachments on some of them, or extended mags or whatever. Lack of weapons really doesn't even feel like an issue, and I think the ones that he had to work with worked really well. It was cool to see some Easter eggs. The first one that comes to mind is the one at facility with the beakers on top of the air vent, the old one. And he's got some new ones. I don't know if I put it in Silo or not, but there is, like, a little balloon in a vent thing. And obviously the Legend of Zelda on the little island at Frigate. That was really, really cool to see. I didn't expect that. So it was fun, like, back to the walkthrough thing, it was fun to kind of, like, discover Easter eggs and see stuff that you're not expecting to see, because you don't really get that anymore in games. Even when you play through a campaign, you kind of know what's going to happen most of the time, or you've read about it somewhere. So it was pretty cool to go back and kind of have it. It felt like playing through Goldeneye again for the first time. And back to kind of level design, like the descent from the dam was really cool to be able to do that, and, like, descending down the elevator shaft. I think the way that he started Silo, I was kind of confused the first playthrough, where you have to kind of blow your way through the wall. That was really cool. He took some liberties and stuff with the maps, and it kind of gave it a bit of a modern twist, but it wasn't too much. It was, I think, that from start to finish, the levels are so well done. They look so good. It really is mind-blowing that like somebody was actually able to make this. And it's a shout out to Ubisoft and Farcry for having in-game tools that you could even make something like this. So I guess that's going to do it for the Goldeneye review. I had a blast playing through this. Like I said, this was like playing Goldeneye for the first time again. I can't remember the last time I actually got excited to play a game. And when I first downloaded these maps, I wasn't able to play them. I had to go to work. And like the whole time I was at work, I just kept thinking like how much fun this was going to be to go home and play this. And it's been a really long time since I actually felt like that about a video game. So it was really cool to go back and sort of feel like a kid again, I guess, and playing something, you know, kind of old school. I don't know. I do plan on going back and doing another playthrough of this. Maybe I'll do it on stream. I don't know. I don't feel like I completely covered all the ground with this. I played the whole game through on, or the whole, I say the whole game. I played all the maps through on double agent difficulty, or secret agent difficulty, the middle of the road, because I had no experience with Far Cry 5 at all, and it's been a really long time since I played a Far Cry game, and Call of Duty has me absolutely ruined with its aim assist. I never realized how aggressive that is, but I mean, you can tell by the channel, if you look around, all I've been doing for the last like year and a half is Warzone, or Black Ops, or whatever. So anyway, the aim assist is out of control, and if you look at the first couple of, like the dam level, the first couple times I played that, and Facility, like my aim sucks, and there's a few times where I'm really missing shots, and there's no aim assist, and I was suffering. So anyway, that was why I played through on the middle difficulty the whole way. I just want to stay consistent with it, and yeah, it was. So I'd like, now that I'm kind of comfy with the game engine and everything, I'd like to go back through, maybe play it on a harder difficulty. And I see he's got like a 4th difficulty called Nude, where you have like in every level you start it with no gun. So that would be kind of fun to try our hand at that and just see. Now we kind of know the maps and know the feel of the game, just to see what how hard that actually is. So anyway, if you can, if there's anything you want to see, or you have any observations about this, drop a comment below. If you've played these maps, let me know what you think. Yeah, just what are your overall thoughts on Goldeneye, on Far Cry 5. I've put the links to all the maps, how to download them, on all these videos, and I'm going to do it in the description of this one too. If you have the game, definitely try this out. I don't think you'll regret it. It is a lot of fun. If you're an Xbox player, there is a version on the way for you. Apparently it's in the works. Not really sure why PC and PS4 have it and Xbox doesn't. I figured it'd be the other way around. Xbox would get it and PS4 wouldn't, but I'm not complaining because this was awesome. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and long live Goldeneye.